I prefer the coffee.
But y'all, I be telling you, Asia, she's invested. Um, Julian, I don't know you, man, but you have been forced down my throat. Nice to meet you. You're popular. I don't know what's going on with you, sir, but I would love to hear about what you got going on. This ain't my room, but yeah.
Going once.
Is he on stage?
He definitely is
Yeah, but
here.
we couldn't hear him. He was. He's not there now. I didn't kick him.
PDA is still showing up on mine, but yeah, that was
Yeah,
that was random.
he's still on my screen. Who is this guy?
I don't know, but I hope somebody clips up Jaywan's part of the Patreon episode so I can see because, I just want to, I don't have Patreon anymore. So if somebody feed
Asia,
me the clips.
I
Thank
got
you.
you. You can come over and watch it too.
Well, that's the end of Asia. It's been real, Asia. I knew you was gonna do it
Oh,
eventually.
Mark,
I knew you'd get yourself clipped somehow.
Asia, girl.
Not promoting the bootlegging of Patreon content on Spaces.
She said she
Allegedly,
bootleg.
allegedly.
What she said?
That
She
was
said for y'all to
hilarious.
clip up the J Wan part so she could see it because she don't have Patreon no more. I was trying to get Julian to come up here and promote what he had going on.
I think he
Hey,
came back. I
did
think
this
he
work this time?
exited.
There you go.
Is it working?
Now we
We
can
can
hear
We
hear
can
you.
hear
you.
you.
Oh, sorry. No, I was trying to get on earlier. It seemed to not be working. Maybe because it was a Bluetooth issue. Not a big deal. Um,
Peace, peace, peace. You're new to these parts. Welcome.
yeah, how you doing, man? I've heard a lot about you. You're funny. You're funny as hell.
Nice to meet you. Welcome, welcome. This
No,
is a
I
positive
heard. I for the
space.
woman. I don't know who said it earlier, but I heard I've been getting force fed down people's throat. I said I hope you didn't choke. I'm sorry. It's not my
I
fault.
don't choke. I don't have a gag reflex.
Hey,
Hey,
Big Bree.
there we go.
Julian, what's up, man? Promote your shit, man.
Happy
Go ahead, get in your
Sunday.
bag.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you've been force fed my stuff, I'm sure you're no stranger to what's going on. Uh, yeah, I mean, obviously, I was on RORY MAL show, no longer am. Didn't want to shut up, so I started my own podcast, and I'm a one man team, doing everything by myself. You know, it's kind of where I'm at.
We
Um,
support entrepreneurship. Good job.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Didn't want to shut up.
Well, Joe. I mean, I think. Oh, you're no stranger to this game. The way it works, like they employed me. So well, it was contracts, not like I signed anything. It was just like a month to month thing. But in this space, when you're given the opportunity to have a microphone, and that mic is retroactively taken from you, I'm sure the assumption is, well, that's it. The ride was fun. Fade off into the light. We enjoyed the content. We most likely
That's what
won't.
we hope. That's what we hope
That's
it
what you could.
is.
I'm sure you felt the same. You know what I mean? I'm sure you were.
Yeah.
I'm sure you were like, well, we had the glory days. On to the next chapter. I'm gonna keep riding. I'll fill this couch out. But that's what it was. I'm sure there was thoughts of that as well. I had other plans, and to be fair, I didn't want to. This I didn't make this out of spite. This is a show I wanted to create over a year ago. But like most people, when you're comfortable and you're doing something, and my bills are being paid, and I'm kind of just going about the monotony of life, I just kept pushing back my plans to better myself. So month to month would go by, I'd be like, I'll work on this show next year. Or like, the co-host fell through. I'll keep pushing this back. You know how that stuff goes. But then when this happened right before New Year's, I was like, well, fuck it. I had the battery in my back and I was like, all right, it's time to get after it. So I put everything together in 2.5 weeks.
See, we was just talking about this, head. We was talking about the niggas that don't want to go out and get it out the mud. That's interesting. Like, why wouldn't you start whatever your idea was that you had for over a year
Yeah,
while you were making money from whatever jobs you were working, so you could kind of invest in the idea and see if it can work?
that's a
Like
great.
why?
Yeah, so I guess a little more detail. Yeah, the version of this that I had was with another friend of mine. It was just going to be the two of us. He's a content creator coming from more of like the TV space, but he used to have a successful podcast in a different podcast space. Nobody that anyone here would know. Um, but he is now also a director at a successful ad agency, and there were hiccups with the kind of content we were creating going against, the more PC commercial appearance he had to keep up. So then we did a couple test episodes. We weren't able to get those approved by his boss. He said, "You guys can do a show, but it can't be like this, explicit." And I said, "Well, we can't. That's not how this was going to work. I'm sorry, this isn't going to happen." So then that got shelved. Tried another version like 3, 4 months later with him and someone else. Thought a third mic might break the dynamic. Didn't work. And then it just kind of laid kaput. It was dormant. And then for a while during those months, I just never initially thought that me alone, like I always wanted to do this with a friend, with somebody that I trusted. And then, fast forward everything that happens, I realized that I don't want the success of this or the failure of this to be because I was tied to someone else. If I'm going to succeed, I'd rather have it be because I was committed to it myself. And if I'm going to fail, it's because I'd rather have like my shortcomings happen by my own hand and not have anyone to point fingers at. So, what happened, and I just got to action. But you are right. I wish I was more comfortable, or at least even flirted with the idea of doing this by myself before everything happened.
Have you and I'm not going to ask a bunch of questions because at some point it'll seem like I'm being messy, and I'm not, and I don't want to do that. This is a room of peace and love. Um, have you learned anything about inheriting beefs? Hello? Oh, he went down. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I think he might be having connection issues, maybe.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, I'm just making sure.
That was a
Well,
very good question. That was a very good question.
I thought so. I thought it was. Not even trying to be funny. I'm not even trying to do the, whatever y'all know me to do normally. Just chilling out. Those are my only two questions, I think.
You're actually not the messy one today. I'm proud of you.
I'm chilling, man.
Yeah,
New
full of
year,
peace.
new
I'm proud of
you. Go ahead,
I'm
Joe.
getting too old for the mess.
Nah,
Too
nah. Give him time.
let, let him warm up.
you. I got this nigga Joe
Give him
fucked up.
time.
That's
Hey,
hate.
Yo,
my
you
man
ain't
right there.
Imani
Here.
dog. Yo, what up, nigga? Yo, you ain't shit.
What did I do?
I came up here I don't give a fuck what this conversation has been
Julian
having.
back.
Wait, what
That,
happened? Why did I get dropped?
No,
okay,
That was
let
your
me
you.
mute up.
connection.
That was you.
Oh shit, my bad. My bad. I don't know when I got I don't know where it left off. I was saying, long story short, I was saying this is mine and Joe's actual first time ever having a real conversation.
So, Joe, ask your
Well,
question
this is
again.
our first time ever having a conversation, ever being in the same space, anything. My question to you was, with all that you've gone through, have you learned anything about inheriting beefs? How come every time I get right there, we can't hear him no more?
Oh nah, you know why, nigga?
Yeah, are you playing with us,
Amani.
Julian?
They got
Julian.
that nigga in the space 360. He can't
Yeah,
he can't he can't
come
say
on.
nothing.
Yo, this nigga looks corny as fuck up here doing this shit now, man. Fuck it. Y'all talking about this
Well, we
peace and
calling it
love shit.
corny.
Yeah, it's corny.
Corny.
This
Why you
shit is
saying
whack.
that?
He's whack for this. He's
He
whack.
didn't say nothing
He
wrong.
haven't said nothing yet.
I
No,
don't
but
care what y'all say. I don't care what
him
y'all
being
say.
here is crazy. I
Yo,
mean, it's
yo,
crazy.
him being in here
Wait,
now
don't
after
make
all.
me defend him.
Go ahead. You can defend him if you want.
We
How
can't
is
be
him being
decent
here
people.
crazy?
Yo,
Listen,
Joe,
we welcome
Joe, you
him,
got
but
these
that's
niggas.
crazy.
Joe, you got these niggas fooled.
I have no idea what's going on.
Amani, you
Imani, you feeling
I
better,
don't.
E,
right?
Can you
you
hear
I
think
me?
I'm
feel
trying to
mad
be
good today.
you think I'm trying to be a messy bitch right now?
Can you guys
Yo,
hear me?
this
Oh,
is
Julian's back.
messy.
Joe,
I'm
actually,
sorry.
Hey,
No,
thank you
I
for
mute
swear
up,
to
joining.
God, it's
Amani.
like
All
every
right,
every
yo.
three
All right.
minutes it's saying connections lost. It's trying to reconnect.
Joe had a question.
My
I
question
heard
to
the
you.
question. Oh
All
fuck,
right.
it's doing it again.
Now we hear you.
Okay, I'm just gonna. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Nah,
Damn.
he
Lost him again.
trolling us. All right. All right, he trolling us now. I'm gonna remove him.
Nah, let Imani finish eating you up.
No, I'm talking about I'm gonna remove Julian because his connection. Maybe I need to re-invite him or something.
I know. So let's resume. Imani, go
Amani, you
ahead. Get
think
him.
I'm being a messy bitch?
Well, Joe, you are being messy, and it's okay because I already get it, and I get that you having a nice conversation. It's cool.
I'm
It's
not
cool.
being messy.
I turned
This
off my
nigga,
Wi-Fi. Hopefully
this
that
nigga,
works.
this nigga shouldn't be up here divulging anything to you after all this shit he done said and did on that side. And even if you
Amani,
ain't with them niggas no more,
what did he divulge to me?
it don't nothing. He shouldn't talk to you ever,
See,
nigga.
well, I think that's a mistake.
On his part.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so you got to stick in that mud. Don't come now because you got fired and now want to be able to come have a conversation with a nigga that you was just talking about running down the hall and all this other abusive shit. No, nigga, fuck you. No,
Oh
ain't no
well, for
cool.
it
You
can
gotta
be
stay on
it
that
can be
side.
fuck me, but we can
I
still
think it's
talk.
whack, and I think it's whack how you doing them niggas. I think it's corny. I think that shit corny. Joe, you fire me. I'm not sitting on no stage with nobody that had as an op just to get my point across about what happened in the situation and where I move from here. Nigga, you
But if
weak for that. That's
but
weak.
I want to point out that I have not asked him anything messy, nor has he said anything messy.
Just being on here and conversing with you is messy. He's corny for that. And
I
niggas
don't.
gotta
I
call it
just.
out.
Can you hear
I'm
me?
not saying he's a corny person because I don't know him as a person, but the move today is corny. It's corny. And niggas gotta call it out for what it is. I'm sorry.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you guys hear me?
Now it's hello.
We can hear
Hello.
you,
No,
Julian.
I heard everything Imani said. I don't. I'm sorry. I
And
just.
I'm not trying to be fucked up towards you because I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I'm not in a position to make fun of nobody as far as when it comes to losing a job or nothing like that. But everybody's job is critical, and you know, when you lose it, the plan is, all right, where do I move forward from it? So I'm not trying to make fun of
Sure.
any of that. But you were with those guys. While you were there with those guys, you partook in a lot of bullshit that had nothing to do with you, even without you being asked to do so. And now, when you fired by those guys, you now want to come and have a voice over here with the person that you was dissing. It's like, nah, nigga. Like, don't nah.
I
This ain't
don't
the
think
time for
that's.
that.
I don't think
Not
that
after
that's.
week one, maybe even after a month one, but after week one, you already want to jump ship and come over and chop
It's
it?
that,
Like,
but I
nah,
think you're
nigga.
misconstruing. Joe and I are just having a conversation. I'm also not like trying to buddy up to Joe. I just
But
got
where
in
was
here
the
to listen.
conversation with Joe? Because Joe's had platforms before. Where was the conversation with Joe before when you were on the platform?
Well,
Because
you
he
can
could have did it then
understand. I'm
too.
sure everyone in here can understand. Well, if you're in this space, well, you're saying I was with them. Obviously, they had a public thing with Joe, so be it. There are times I wanted to talk about stuff that was happening. We weren't allowed to on the show. Whatever. I kind of let everything fall by the wayside. I in that time, like I was, and I was hired by them, so they made it very clear that hey, never talk about these things.
The
Don't
boogeyman.
talk
So you
about,
were
you know what I mean?
silenced.
So I was never in a position to ever talk to Joe or talk like about him, so to speak. So like to what you're referring, like the two or three times I may have tweeted about something or something like the news or the headlines, I would go to the studio and be like, yo, just please like don't do that, which is why it like kind of tapered off immensely with me. So like
I
I'd
mean,
say to answer your question, I've never been in a position to speak before because I wasn't, with respect to them, I just wasn't going to do that
I
behind their
get what
back.
you're saying. I get what you're saying. Looking at it at like this. If I work with Joe for however many years I work with Joe, and then he has let's just take DJ Head. He has a beef with DJ Head, right? Not serious beef, just back and forth, whatever, boom, boom, similar to him and Rory and all that. And then he fires me. And then the whole time him and DJ had been beefing, I've been throwing in my little pop shots and boom, boom, being funny. I don't even know DJ had like that, but I just been being funny, this and this and
You
this and
missed
that.
my point. The point is before I could never talk to Joe. I was explicitly like asked not to talk to him ever. I wasn't in a position to do what I'm doing currently.
Take that, Emanny.
I
Can
still
I get
don't,
in
I
here
still don't
so I
agree.
could go?
I still don't agree with
That's
that,
okay.
but
I mean, that's
it's all
fine if you
good.
disagree
It's
with
all
it.
good.
That's
It's all
okay.
good.
But
All right. First of all, I'm muting the stage. I'm muting the stage so we can have a moment of silence and say a prayer for those inside and outside the spaces that may be in need. That's one. Two, we want to continue to spread nothing but positivity and joy to anyone here, the loved ones of anyone here, and over the endeavors of anyone here. So just want to get that out the way. Let me unmute everyone now.
thanks, Joe. I forgot
That
it was
was nice,
Sunday.
Joe.
Come on, come on. I have a heart. I have a heart. Kiara, welcome.
Hi, Joe. I just wanted to say hi to everyone. I feel like I know I dragged you the other day, Julian, but I feel like I kind of gotta defend you. Um, Everyone's a phony bitch on Spaces. There's plenty of people everyone has had in a room that they didn't like, and 5 seconds later they did like or not like because of who they associate with. So I feel like to sit here and try to come for Julian, who is a new podcaster who is trying to promote his pod, which I think him not being up here, he explained why he's never been in the rooms and maybe digs he did take, but everyone's been a phony bitch, including everyone on this stage. I'm not talking about DJ Head because hi, Mr. Head, I don't know what you do on Spaces. I'm not sure about Ian either, but people sit here and talk to people one day and then flip on them the next. So I feel like Julian, I have come for you when you were on the pod and not on the pod. I do respect you going on your own. I do respect, like,
Why
what you
why were you
put.
coming for him, Kiara?
Well, Julian has never been my cup of tea. I don't want to sit here and drag him today. If he wants to come in a space that I am in and DM me or whatever like that, and come and promote his pod or whatever, but I will. I've told Julian the things I don't like about what he does to his face, and I make jokes, which people took offense and were killing me for a week for you, Julian, but I don't want to shit on him, like, going out there. There's things I don't like how he goes about it. Like, I'm not a fan, but I do appreciate what he brought to the other pod. And I did watch your live stream, which I actually thought was really good. But I don't need to sit here and get messy with Julian about what I don't like. But I do feel like we're holding people to certain standards, and I feel like it's a lot of bullshit because you were in rooms with people specifically, like, not trying to bring you specifically, Amani, but with people in rooms talking to them, and now you don't talk to them. But I feel like Joe's probably always had a
Name the
problem with.
people. Name the people.
Oh, I'm not naming people. Um,
Exactly my point. You can't, because anybody that I've spoken to, I either have
Rocky, Danny,
I've had
you,
relationship with those people, and
Rocky, but Danny is a space person. You sat here
and I also
and
do
you
it with
pick and
Joe.
choose when you want to
I
ride or
no no
not.
no. I do it in a room whether Joe's in there or not, and I'm not controlled by my friendships. So I can speak to someone that I'm not cool with. I can also speak to someone that I've been cool with before that I'm not cool with today, because I choose when I want to speak
I
to
would
people.
disagree.
Yeah, well, you can disagree. That's fine, but you're wrong.
Because you've sat
You
here
are
and talked to
wrong.
those people, and then Joe comes in a room and said he has a problem, and now the energy
And
shifts.
the
I
difference
do.
is, I still speak to them whether Joe is in a room or not. There's nothing phony or changing up about that. I pick and choose when I want to speak to people. I don't let the friends or people tell me when and when I can't choose to speak to them. That's phony. That's your
And
problem.
just to make myself clear, I don't know if I don't think I have a problem with anything that anybody does on spaces. I'm not.
Didn't say you did, but I'm saying, why are we trying to kill Julian for just having a conversation?
Because that's my opinion, and I
Well,
think it looks whack.
So
Julian
some
has
people
said
see
mean.
things you do
Julian's
as
been a
whack too.
meanie, Kiara.
What happened?
Julian's been a meanie
I didn't say he
before.
wasn't. I
So
just said that
Amani is
he
just
can be
saying,
he could be on this space talking to you. I said that. That's all I'm saying.
He can be
oh,
in
okay.
any space talking to
He
anybody.
wants him to be accountable for
Yeah,
being
what the
a
fuck are you
meanie.
talking about?
That's what he's saying.
You
Which I
niggas,
don't I don't necessarily care about. I just wanted my question answered. And then I'm cool.
yeah, niggas on here fake peace, and there ain't no peace in here. Fuck out of here.
No, I had the pleasure of hearing Julian in a different space and hearing some of the things that he's going through on his own. And contrary to popular belief, Joe Budden has a heart. So I wanted him to come up here, shout out his show. In
I
spite
also, I
of,
mean, I appreciate it,
You
but
a
I
messy.
didn't come in here to promote anything. I just wanted to hang and talk. So.
I asked you to promote.
Yeah, no, you did. Thank you. I
I did that.
appreciate that.
Yo,
But like, I mean, with regard, I'm also not trying to. I thank you, Kiara. I know you said you'd kick my back in and all that stuff. Like, that's fine. It's all I get it. It comes with territory. But like,
Oh, they dragged you in that room the other day. That
yeah,
Crazy.
it's
the
I
fine.
was
I'm not
girl.
sitting
gonna listen to
there.
it.
Oh my lord, it's on YouTube if you want to check it
No, that's
out.
good.
It's
I'll keep scrubbing it from my
Oh,
algorithms. But I will say, like, I'm also not trying to jump in here and point fingers at anybody else for like, how they acted. It's people. Shit happens. Like, I don't really care. I think, Joe. I do think we, in thinking, I know the fun we've poked at each other. I think it's all in good fun. I think our disposition on a lot of this stuff is pretty aligned uh, with each other, but I could be wrong. But I don't know. I don't take any of this shit personally. Um, but I do. I mean, man, if you feel that way, that's completely fine as well. I get it. Like, but I'm
no, let me.
trying to
I'm
explain.
listen. I'm speaking for myself, and it's no. Like I said, I don't have a problem
Yeah,
with
for
you
sure.
at all. I just think when you stay on a certain side of the line, and the jokes that you made, and references to certain things that to me aren't just entertainment and jokes, then that certain things can't be forgotten. To me, at least.
Sure. Yeah,
So
sure.
certain jokes you made to me cross the line of we're just doing this for entertainment. And if your bosses at the moment told you don't speak on a nigga, then that should have went all around the board, not just when it came to jokes or topics. It should have just been, all right, well, fuck it. I'm just going to stay neutral and I'm going to stay out of this. But you didn't choose to do that a few times. So I feel like it's just a week one after being fired and being up on stage with Joe talking, just to me, just looks a little weird. That's all.
Well, it's not. I mean, it's week 4 if we want to get technical.
Oh, I mean, my bad. Time
Yeah.
moving fast. I can see
Yeah.
it.
and the first is around the corner, nigga. I'm talking to who I need to talk to. The fuck is you talking about, nigga? It
Yo,
is the what is it? The
Joe,
20?
shut the
It's
fuck
the
up.
26th, Amani.
My
And you
bad, man.
talking about some standing on morals,
Nigga,
nigga?
nigga, I
That
was
nigga
like,
was talking about all the shit he had to pay for. He borrowed a camera, nigga.
You
uh,
know how
And this,
expensive this shit is, Joe. I
yeah.
don't have
Go ahead.
Prize Picks covering my bills. I got nothing, so I'm out here fucking thugging it out.
You're in the struggle. You get into it.
Yep, it's a good thing though. I'm fortunate enough to uh, be at this point, so it is what it is. I take every step of this in stride.
Sometimes it take a nigga getting fired to really push him to his full potential greatness.
A
Anyway,
thousand percent, I could not agree
I agree
more.
with that. I agree with that.
Yeah, I think I've worked harder in the last 3 weeks than I have in like the past, few years. It's just like I'm so motivated to. I mean, I learned how to do all the technical stuff. I can fucking video edit, sound edit, color a video, design shit. Like I didn't do any of the technical work before. So just when you're forced to do something, you have no choice. So
All right, I want to shout out all of y'all that the Anoms just ballooned when Julian got up here. Hey, any of my ops in the Anoms, dog. I'm on peace. I'm on peace. This is not what you think. This is not what it looks like.
if you just
You
joined, you
don't
missed the huge screaming match. It's over. Sorry, guys.
you don't have to be down there. You could join us with your true identities. Amani, I can't believe that you manipulated my great gesture into something else.
Joe, you can you
Oh,
can you can you can joke with these niggas up here,
I'm just saying that
but
happens. That
nigga,
happens.
I know you.
I'm glad you're feeling better though.
Yeah, I do. I feel much better.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, much better.
Yeah,
I,
that Buckley's got
I ain't
all
even
that
hit the
super
Nick
solid.
game last night. It wasn't the same.
Damn,
It
that's
wasn't the
fucked up.
same without my boy.
Oh
Okay,
man.
so we do have a question in the chat for Julian that I'm going to read.
Sure.
And it says, and you don't have to answer this. Um, how'd you feel about your send off?
I was gonna, damn, I should have said this beforehand because I was gonna say I'm sure a lot of the questions that are gonna be asked, I'm not going to want to answer. Doesn't mean I will in due time, but it just doesn't mean I want to do that here. So that this being one of those questions, I don't want to answer that right now.
Yo, whoever wrote that in the chat, Don't do it again.
But no, see, we don't have to do that. Like, no, I
This is not
understand
the
why
space for
someone would
that.
ask that. It's just now's not the time for me to do that.
No, you got to hold all the shit for your own
Yeah,
platform
you know how
and
this
your own episode.
goes.
Once you get out of poem mode and just start going, I'm in there.
Yeah. Well, I like
I'm checking out. I'm checking that one out.
when he came in, like I definitely was surprised when I saw him on the stage. Like when I looked at the screen and saw him, I was like, "Oh shit!" So I did think that that was like like messy and like weird in a way. But like once you said that you couldn't blah 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 blah. I mean it's I guess it makes sense. People gotta make their moves and get their connections up and so forth. So yeah, hopefully you thrive.
Julian, do you feel any different after having your little exchange with
What do you
Joe?
mean by what do you mean in regards to what?
The stance that you took of being silent. Do you feel like you shouldn't have did that or what?
You mean like not being able to talk about Joe or what, like that stuff?
Yeah.
Oh no, I mean no, I mean I that was a part of my journey. Like with respects to them and what we were doing, like yeah, I had to play with the terms of what was going on. I don't feel any differently. There's no like malice, like fuck it, it should have been up the whole time. No, I know that's not. I don't feel like that at all.
So are you a part of the JBP community now?
I wouldn't go that far. No,
Oh, there's a
I
lot of
think
community
Who's that? That's
hopping. I'm
Bray.
just asking.
no. I'm saying
That's
like I'm
Bray.
not saying I'm saying like I don't think that this is like a flipping sides, pick a side. I don't get all that. I don't think everything has to be so polarizing. I think a lot of people consume a lot of content. And if they choose to listen to me, so be it. If they choose to listen to Joe, that's great. I don't care who you like. It doesn't bother me.
I got a
Sure.
question for you, bro. Why is it was it something wrong with the
Oh yeah.
podcast?
I mean, obviously, like the biggest clip from the show, period, is that thug clip. Um, so I wanted to utilize that, and I'm a digital marketer at heart. I know that that's my digital footprint. If you look that up, my face is attached to it. So it was just smart to just leverage that as my and it's funny. I think it's funny.
Just marketing
Marketing
kind of.
and yeah, it's tongue in cheek. It's funny. Like you can something wrong with the fill in the blank that can kind of be used for a multitude of things. So it just made sense to me.
All right.
Are you familiar with DJ Head?
Yes, hadn't I met shit, what was that? Had like a couple years ago we met in LA in Calabasas on the golf course.
Oh shit, I was gonna say something different.
Was that the first
Yeah,
time
for
we met
sure.
or no?
And I, I don't remember, dog. I'm gonna be honest with you. My memory is
I don't
fucked up.
remember.
So
It was
like, I don't remember the first time
the
I know I met you, but I thought it was at
I
the
mean
live show.
probably there as well. But yeah, that was the the engineers golf tournament, the charity one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shout out to my
Ali and
brother.
them.
Yeah.
Those are great people. Yeah.
Well, what can we talk about with Julian that won't seem messy?
Yeah, I'm reading the questions in the comments. They have some.
I'm not asking nothing else because nigga said he gonna come take my spot on the pod. So I'm gonna just mute up.
That's what they said about my guy.
Yeah, they said he up there interviewing for my
That's too
spot on
funny.
the pod.
Hiring Julian would be messy,
Uh,
or funding his endeavors
now I will say
would be
this:
messy.
Julian is talented. I will say that,
That would be messy though. You can't be
but
messy.
he can't. Who other spot? All right, never mind.
Armando, you being kind now? Wait, what's the
Nah,
story?
listen,
Ian, you hear him?
I'm just yo. Listen, I'm
Yeah.
fair, man. I'm just fair. It ain't even about being kind. Like, I would never shit on a nigga talent. I just be liking when niggas stand on a certain side. Like, you gotta stay there. Like, that's all.
I'll
It's
stay here.
maybe it's just corny
Not
morale
staying
shit.
there if you fired me. That's not true.
All right, so all right.
Who's that? Coffee?